Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And in this particular video, I want us to look at Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, his game plan, and why he flatly refused to accept to serve in William Ruto's government after the last general election. Because earlier today, William Ruto led his brigades to a series of political activities in Ukambani. And Rigathi Gachagua, the truthful man, decided to leak the secret that William Ruto met with Kalonzo Musyoka after the election and offered him a job, Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs. But Kalonzo Musyoka refused. William Ruto himself, in his speech, also confirmed that indeed he reached out to Kalonzo Musyoka. He offered him a job. Kalonzo Musyoka told him point blank that I cannot work in your government. Why do you think Kalonzo Musyoka refused to work with William Ruto? Because if you followed the politics, especially moving forward to the last election, Kalonzo Musyoka was in Azimio, but he was not happy. When Azimio lost, the person most people expected to bolt out was Kalonzo Musyoka. But Kalonzo Musyoka we are seeing today is not the Kalonzo Musyoka most people used to see. We are seeing a totally different Kalonzo Musyoka. If you've been following the politics of this country, Kalonzo Musyoka is emerging as one of the most radical leaders in Azimio. In fact, you don't need to go further. Just watch today when Mwangi wa Iria was addressing Azimio supporters in Kamkunji. Kalonzo Musyoka was the first leader to rise up from his feet where he was seated when Mwangi wa Iria announced to the country that they are going to install Raila Odinga if the servers were not going to be open. Kalonzo Musyoka was the first leader to rise up when the crowd got charged at the mention of installing Raila Odinga as the president of the Republic of Kenya. So Kalonzo Musyoka has shocked everybody. But the first question which we need to ask ourselves, why would Ruto want Kalonzo Musyoka to serve in his cabinet at that particular time? Of course, the truth is, William Ruto has approached Kalonzo Musyoka twice. Immediately after the last election, Kalonzo Musyoka told him no. Then 1 month ago or so, William Ruto again approached Kalonzo Musyoka with the same offer. Kalonzo Musyoka said again. Of course, you know and you understand that, number one, William Ruto is keen on isolating Raila Odinga. In fact, after the last election, that is the journey William Ruto embarked on. So if you had managed to get the support of Kalonzo, Raila Odinga today would be an empty shell. Probably because of his ability to reinvent, he would have reinvented himself. But Ruto would have succeeded in isolating Raila Odinga. And to do this, even currently, what Ruto is doing is that he's trying to create an image of Kalonzo Musyoka in Azimio as solo. Number two, William Ruto decided to reach out to Kalonzo again immediately after Raila Odinga announced that he was giving Ruto 14 days to meet certain demands. He reached out to Kalonzo by that time because there was serious fallout in Kenya Kwanza between Ruto, Rigathi, and Alfred Mutua. There were plans to kick out Alfred Mutua. And for those who remember politics very closely, at some point, certain roles were taken away from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and given to Rigathi Gachagua. That time is when these guys wanted Kalonzo. There was a fallout. But why would Kalonzo Musyoka refuse to take up these particular jobs? In this video, I'm going to explain to you guys why Kalonzo Musyoka refused the job offer. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. I can assure you there is nowhere you can find these kind of videos. And for those who are already subscribed, I want to ask you to just give this video thumbs up. That's the best way you can support the channel. You can also share these particular videos to with your friends. And of course, those who can, you can always contribute in a small way through Mpesa. Now, why do you think Kalonzo refused that offer? Number one, because I want to be a bit brief, is 2027 politics. And I want to mark this. Kalonzo Musyoka is going to go to the ballot. The name Kalonzo Musyoka will be on the presidential ballot in 2027. Whether it's going to go as Azimio, whether it's going to go as Wiper, whether it's going to go as any other formation, but Kalonzo Musyoka has decided that he's going to run for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya. If Kalonzo Musyoka were to pick up this appointment and join Ruto, what was going to happen was that he was going to play second fiddle to Ruto, especially as far as Ukambani politics is concerned. And taking up a cabinet position would have meant Kalonzo Musyoka was not going to play politics for the next 5 years. Kalonzo Musyoka is not interested in that. If anything, he has served this country in the capacity of the vice president. He had served this country as a capacity in the capacity of Minister for Foreign Affairs. So really, 2027 politics is what is motivating Kalonzo Musyoka. So he's going to run. Serving in government was going to affect him. Let me remind you that immediately or even before the election, Kalonzo Musyoka told Kenyans something which is still stuck in my mind. That he learned his lessons from William Ruto. That mapema ndio best. And that he was going to begin campaigns immediately after the elections. What I don't know is whether he's doing that, because for me, Kalonzo is not doing much. He's someone I can easily vote for. And I've always said on this platform, if he wants to come to my village, his team can contact me. I can offer them a platform in my village. Number two, Kalonzo Musyoka is keen on inheriting Raila Odinga's voting bloc or support base. You know, as a presidential candidate, and with the prospect or the possibility of Raila Odinga not being on the ballot, almost all politicians are dreaming of inheriting Raila Odinga support base. The Luo Nation, the Luya Nation, the Kamba Nation, and the Coastal Region. Of course, Kalonzo has the Kamba Nation, but Raila Odinga has that voting bloc. So how can Kalonzo Musyoka inherit Raila Odinga's voting bloc? That has been the question. For him to do that, he needed to align himself with those support bases. Raila Odinga's support bases believed that Raila Odinga was raked out. And they also believe in firebrand politics. Firebrand politics means you can stand up, speak things which are controversial. That is exactly what Kalonzo Musyoka is currently doing. And that's why I demonstrated today using the fact that he was actually the one who stood first. I'm told that during the talks between Ruto and Raila, Kalonzo Musyoka refused completely to enter into talks. He believed that they just needed to sustain the pressure. They just needed to sustain the mandamano. And that out of that mandamano, they were going to achieve their objective faster and better than what emerged from the talks between Ruto and Raila. So he's keen on inheriting Raila Odinga's support base. He can only do that either by supporting Raila Odinga, so that even if Raila Odinga will betray him, there are some people who will support him. So that's the second thing. Number three, Kalonzo Musyoka and most politicians also believe that William Ruto has already concluded his 2027 succession politics. and is already working on 2032. Kalonzo Musyoka believes very strongly that there is no way he's fitting anywhere near William Ruto schemes of things. Why? William Ruto has Rigathi Gachagua to repay. He has Musalia Mudavadi to repay. And he made those pronouncements publicly. In fact, just the other day, I saw Farouk Kibet announcing to the country that they will reward Musalia Mudavadi in 2027 with their votes. So, as a politician, do you join a camp like that, where their succession politics is already clear and you are not part of that scheme? So for me, that's the other reason. In fact, Ruto has, even the son Nick is there, will emerge, Kalonzo. So if Ruto were to reward these guys, it means in 2032, it will be Rigathi as a presidential candidate, Mudavadi as a running mate. Kalonzo bado atakuwa tu huko nyuma. Number 4 is Kenya Kwanza garbage. Kalonzo Musyoka knew so well, having served in the government, that Kenya Kwanza was not going to succeed. In fact, this government is going to fail terribly, not because of anything, but because of other factors such as the economy, global economy, which is doing very badly right now. This country overborrowed, so it will be very difficult. William Ruto made promises to people. Most of those promises, there's no way he's going to meet. And of course, scandals here, scandal there is going to emerge. Kalonzo learned his lessons from Jubilee failures. Raila Odinga went into this election with Jubilee failures on his head and on his shoulder. There was no way Raila Odinga could be divorced from Jubilee failures. If, for example, Kalonzo were to join Kenya Kwanza today, he will carry those burdens and is not keen on that. And number 5, I think, the ground is actually hostile. The Ukambani, hostile. And because the Ukambani has been NASA and Azimio, and being hostile, it means there was no way he was going to carry them and deliver them to State House. I don't know what you think, but I'm also sure that Kalonzo views William Ruto differently. That the man you see on your screen as Ruto is not the man you meet. And therefore, his motives of reaching out to Kalonzo Musyoka is not understanding. I don't know what you think. That's my take. And please, may you take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now, is there any new development? I promised to do a video about Wajakoya. Tomorrow is up. That video about Wajakoya is coming up tomorrow. So you guys, I know you've been waiting for it. It's coming up tomorrow. And I'll also try and do an analysis of Raila Odinga's Raila Odinga's rally in Kamukunji and William Ruto's trip to Machakos. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.